Yes, sir.
Yes, hello. My name is Alex Heim, and I am a policy analyst with the City of Houston. I'd like to thank Councilmember Kitchen's office, who invited us to come down and speak about our experience regulating TNCs. And I'd like to read excerpts from a letter that our mayor, Mayor Anise Parker, had written to the Austin City Council to kind of explain a little bit about what we've done. She regrets that she, due to scheduling conflicts, was not able to make it, but I hope that I can answer any questions that you might have about what we've done. The City of Houston regulates all vehicles for hire in the interest of public safety and customer service. On November 4th, 2014, Houston's ordinance expanding our regulatory framework to include TNCs such as Uber and Lyft went into effect. Over the past year, Uber has continuously grown and is thriving under our ordinance, attracting 2 additional TNCs to enter the Houston market. In our experience over the past year, it has proved critically important to require TNC drivers to undergo a fingerprint-based FBI background check before licensure. Uber and other TNCs use commercial third-party companies that are effectively credit check companies. Because they do not use a positive, unique biometric identifier such as fingerprints, these companies miss applicants that use aliases. For example, a recent TNC driver that had been cleared by hirees underwent a City of Houston background check, fingerprint background check, that produced results showing that she had 24 alias names, 5 listed birth dates, 10 listed social security numbers, and an active warrant for her arrest. In the first 10 months after Houston's ordinance went into effect, our fingerprint-based background check found that several applicants for TNC licenses who had already passed a commercial criminal background check had a prior criminal history. The charges included murder, assault, battery, indecent exposure, DWI, aggravated robbery, larceny, reckless driving, and the unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Houston does not compromise on public safety, and commercial background checks simply are not strong enough. Uber's success in Houston is proof that regulators do not need to compromise on safety to bring innovative transportation options to their cities. Uber drivers are being licensed and vehicles inspected in full compliance with our ordinance. In their first 18 months of operation, Uber reported that they gave 3.5 million rides to 500,000 Houstonians. The number of Uber drivers continues to grow exponentially, and Uber has announced plans to bring an additional 5,000 drivers on board in 2016 to further expand their operations in Houston. We have seen both part-time and full-time drivers from every possible neighborhood and occupation across Houston. Uber drivers are as diverse as Houston itself. Working hand-with-hand over the past year with other major vehicle-for-hire operators, as well as leaders from Houston's disabilities community, Uber assisted in crafting regulations to ensure that within 3 years, Houstonians will be able to request a wheelchair-accessible TNC in 20 minutes or less. In no other city in the nation has there been this type of collaborative agreement between traditional vehicle-for-hire industry, the TNC industry, and the disabilities community to codify this kind of requirement. Uber is not only working within Houston's existing ordinance, they are working to expand it. Houston strongly believes that all cities should require all vehicle-for-hire drivers to undergo an FBI-based fingerprint background check prior to being authorized to provide service to fellow Texans. As evidenced by the continuing partnership between Uber and the City of Houston, as well as Uber's substantial growth in our local market, Houston's ordinance has successfully balanced public safety with the need to provide Houstonians with as many safe transportation options as possible. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have about Houston's experience or our ordinance.
Thank you. Any questions for the speaker? Yes, Mr. Zimmer.
Thank you. I appreciate those remarks. If we were to import Houston's model of Uber regulation, could we also import Houston's model of zoning?
My department does a lot of things, council member. Our department is not involved in zoning. It may be the one thing we're not involved in, so I'm not really qualified to speak to that. But if that's something you wanted to do, I'm sure we could put you in touch with the people that could give you that advice.
I lived in Houston for 13 years, and I thought the planning was done better without government bureaucrats involved. But simply my opinion.
All right. Ms. Kitchen?
Thank you. Could you speak to some of our other TNCs some of the TNCs have expressed concerns about difficulties with part-time drivers. I don't know if you have any information from Houston related to that, but do you all have any experience you can report about part-time drivers being fingerprinted?
Well, Councilmember, I would love to share the data with you that we've collected. Unfortunately, the city is under an injunction right now because we are being sued by Uber to not release any of our data. I can't speak as a customer anecdotally. I live near the medical center in Houston, and there are plenty of medical schools there, as one would imagine. And at least anecdotally, a lot of the drivers that I've ridden with are med students. And I've had the full gamut of drivers, from people that do this full time to people that are just students trying to make some extra spending money.
Okay. I've heard you refer to Uber working in conjunction with Uber. So would you characterize the relationship in Houston as being a collaborative relationship with Uber?
I think in a lot of instances, yes, we've been very collaborative. We have to really give them credit. They pushed us really hard to improve our licensing process, and our process is significantly better because of our interactions with them. I think additionally, there are plenty of causes and events that they've partnered with us on. Through Uber Puppies, Uber partnered with BARK, the city's municipal animal shelter, to raise awareness about this animal overpopulation problem in Houston. Over 10,000 Houstonians. I know they also helped relocate over 200 residents of a slumlord's apartments that were condemned by the city. So they have been, in a lot of ways, a really good corporate citizen in working with us on that.
So you're in an environment where you do have the opportunity to work with Uber, and you do require fingerprints, and Uber works with you in a collaborative way. That's the kind of relationship we would love to have with Uber here, and we've asked them for.